So let's get into the numbers. Robyn, when you opened today and we had a conversation, you mentioned a set of numbers. Can you run through that again?
I said, let's begin with the end in mind. So what is my property going to sell for? Then what did it cost me to purchase? So what were all those settlement costs, stamp duty, conveyancing, all of those things? What is my holding costs? So have I got a loan out? How much is that going to cost me for the period of time I think it's going to take? And then the sales costs. When I sell, I have to pay my real estate agent, I have to advertise. Then how much money do I want to make? One of the most important things. Am I willing to do it for this much? There's some things I walk away from because there's not enough money in it. So now I've got my purchase price. Now keep in mind, a lot of those figures are set, but the renovation is the one that's not, that's likely to go a little bit differently. So how much am I willing to make? What are they all going to cost me? Where can I buy? Where do I need to be buying?
What about reno budgets? Typically, I suggest the idea of whatever you buy it for, 10% of what you buy it for is a good base number crunched budget at a high level first scan to say that's what I need to spend. On the premise, you're going to sell it between 33 or 35% more than what you bought it for in a 6-month time frame. Do you stick with the 10%? Tell me about your first project you did. Did you stick with the 10%? Did you say, these are the rules, follow the rules?
So my first project, I actually had no idea what the costs would be. But we followed the process and allowed a percentage of the reno costs and said, okay, well, we can either make a lot of money or our reno costs are going to be higher. And there was enough margin in after crunching the numbers that we could come out profitably. Because if you haven't done one, you don't know.
Yeah, correct.
You don't know what everything costs, but you're not the first one to do it. And if you follow a proven system, there's allowance for that to be a profitable deal. So,
do you stick with a base budget or? Oh no, I appreciate the controversy that's coming from the eyes that you're looking at me with.
What you're saying is pretty basically right. Okay, there's a percentage that works out. We talk a lot about numbers. I'm not a numbers girl. I don't like numbers. I failed maths I don't know how many times. I thank heavens for Excel. We've got Excel sheets. And I've got, these days, enough experience to look and see what needs to happen. Because we study the market, like Rowan said, we know where we need to be. We know what that market wants because we've had the opportunity to walk in and out of many houses. To get what I need to get, I'll probably work it backwards, but I've got a knowledge base now of what do I need to do and what's that going to cost me. There are always surprises in renovations.
Yeah.
Anything you can't see, you don't make any money out of. So if you've got to fit the electrics or the plumbing or the roof, that's just wasted money. So they're the things you need to know about up front. So no, I don't stick to your percentage, but now I have the experience to know. My first ever reno I did with somebody, I think they still own the property because we spent way too much money.
Yeah, and there's your risk. So as an idea, if you paint the letterbox and put it back on the market, that's not enough of a difference to justify a higher selling price, yeah? But if you laden the house with gold, literally gold taps and gold skirting boards, does not mean that you're going to get the 400% jump in price that you need to walk away to profit, overcapitalising. So there is a sweet spot, and I think we all need to be mindful of that. I want to now move into the back end of this journey. You started with the idea of the sell price being where you work to, and then you work back to buy price. We need to buy for the right price. Does negotiation play a reasonable role in you landing the deal? Wrong.
Negotiation's key. So what you want to do is ask agents questions. Ask them why the vendor's selling. I mean, it really comes down to terms and price, but if you can find out if there's certain terms, if they've maybe bought another house and in a rush to sell and they need a quick settlement, or they're happy to do a longer settlement and you can get in there and potentially negotiate a long settlement, there's opportunity there. So negotiation is key.
Robyn, you talked about negotiation quite a lot. How does negotiation play out for you in the success of your projects?
I call myself the world's worst negotiator. I always want to give everybody what they want. I say I'm the world's worst negotiator because I just want to give whatever everybody's asking. But when you can drill down, as Rowan said, and find out what their problem is, or is there a problem, then you can help them. And if you can help them and it's worked for you and it's worked for them, well, everybody's happy. And even if that means that you might need you The real estate agent that's selling it to you, you can tell him no, what's going on. You make sure that he gets a win too. He might like to sell what you renovated. I say negotiation is just everybody has to be happy.
And that, Brendan, is the art of the deal. Making everyone come to the table and get a deal that works for everyone, but most importantly, for yourself as well, right? A wise property magnate once told me, you can analyze your kingdom come on the deal and the project, but if you haven't got the purchase, then there's no deal.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So a simple matter is, we can do whatever we want, overanalyze. At the end of the day, it's about whether you can acquire and successfully acquire the property. You can be creative, like what Robyn talked about. Maybe offer the agent first dibs for the next sale. Another thing you can do is that if you understand that the owners, the vendors may want to stay on to the property for a number of months, offer free rent for them to stay on. Many number of things you can do, but the first step is get the property, do a deal.
And like Robyn did say, the real estate agent can get in the way. So a good way around that is to be able to submit multiple offers with different scenarios, because the agent has to present the offer to the purchaser. You can have scenario 1, quick settlement, lower price. Scenario 2, higher price, longer settlement. And the real estate agent will present all these scenarios and they can pick the one that best works for you, and you work those in with your strategy as well.
Brilliant. The upshot here, know your numbers before getting into the project. Know what you have to sell it for as the key number. And then from there you work backwards. And then you can determine and negotiate the buy price that works for your project. You will walk away with a profit. It's the difference between success and a loss. Up next, we're going to get real with Rowan.